Like Bill went to CrossFit and made them an offer that they couldn't refuse.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Bill Henniger goes to CrossFit and goes, hey, you're gonna have to let Dave Castro back into the fold, or I'm gonna pull all my equipment out. Yo, so if you've watched any number of my videos, maybe even just one of them, you'll understand that I'm a pretty big movie buff. Maybe you follow me on Instagram and you see that just about everything that I do, I tie together with movies, because I think that movies just speak to general life and people can relate to movies. And if you can relate to movies, you can relate to the things that I have to talk about. So yeah, I love movies. I'm a huge movie buff. And any time that somebody brings up the movie Godfather, I kind of withdraw a little bit. I withdraw because I haven't seen the freaking thing. I don't really like older movies. I've seen just about everything that's been popular, I would say, since I don't know, 1995. I was born in 1991. I'm 30 years old, and I have a hard time watching anything made before like basically 1990. And if I haven't seen it already, sometimes it's even hard to watch things made in the 90s. Say what you will about that, but Andrew, you're missing all the good classics, whatever. So here's the deal is, I think that every time I go out to dinner with Alexis's parents, her stepdad tells me about The Godfather. He tells me a Godfather story. And of course, I go on to Rotten Tomatoes and I see the thing's got like a 97, 98% Rotten Tomatoes rating. It's better than anything that's ever come out. And he always just makes fun of me for having never seen it. So I've been putting it off for a long time, and today I sat down to watch The Godfather. Watching The Godfather, I've heard every quote ever, basically from the conversations with him and through others, and I understand the premise of it, but it wasn't until watching it that I got the sense of something that ties together really well with everything that I've been talking about right now, present day, in CrossFit. And I wonder if any of you have kind of picked up on this. And of course, this is just me connecting things to other things. Now, there's this guy, and they call him the Don. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I didn't even finish the movie. I got maybe halfway through it and I go, I gotta make this video because this is just fresh on my mind. I don't want to lose this kind of kick towards it. So I know the guy's name is the Don Vito Corleone. And in the opening scene, everyone's walking up to him and they're asking him for favors, and they're asking him for favors because it's his daughter's wedding, and I guess he can't turn down favors on his daughter's wedding. And then he'll offer them the favor, and then he won't ask for anything in return, but he will ask for basically loyalty. He'll ask for the, hey, whenever I need you to do something for me, you gotta do something for me. And you get the sense that he's a super powerful dude. He basically runs the shit. And then I get a little bit deeper into it, and he's one of like 5 families, I assume, in the movie that kind of are just big players in the space, and everything filters through them. The police filter through them, the drugs filter through them, heroin, I guess, and gambling and all that sort of thing. And the connection that I'm trying to draw here is that we know that there is a company that has come through the CrossFit space and has kind of gotten bigger than the CrossFit space, like way bigger than the CrossFit space. I could have said that right there, and you probably already know what I'm talking about. You might look around my garage right now and know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. Right there. It's Rogue Fitness. And I'm not anyone to say that if there weren't any CrossFit, there wouldn't be a Rogue Fitness, but it seems as if CrossFit helped Rogue Fitness come to be, and then Rogue Fitness went off to the freaking moon.
Into the fucking stratosphere!
And CrossFit's just kind of sitting on planet Earth still.
Centaur climbs to 30,000 feet, then malfunction.
I'm saying that because they recently bought a company called Ghost, and I did a lot of looking into it. It's Ghost Strong. They bought a company called Ghost Strong, and to me it sounded a lot like they were doing a favor. So he came to the guy's wedding. He goes, hey, I need you to kill these people. It's like, I'm not going to kill these people. You know, your daughter's still alive, but I can beat them up real good for you if you need me to. That's what the Don was saying. So the way that I saw the Ghost Strong acquisition going is there's an owner. His name is Tim. It seemed as if he was going through a hard time. Both of his parents were kind of sick. He was struggling trying to keep up with this company, and it seemed as if he approached Bill Henniger. And this is all stuff that I grabbed from an Instagram post, by the way. You can go see it. Maybe I'll clip it up right here. But this guy named Tim approaches Bill Henniger, and he's like, hey, I got this company and I can't keep up. I mean, it's kind of beating me up. I'm working 12 to 17 hour days. My parents are really sick. I love it. I wanted to succeed, and I believe in everything that you do. And I've got these awesome J cups, and everyone loves the J cups. Like these J cups, they can go left, they can go right. Would you be interested in possibly purchasing my company? Bill Henniger, for all I know, does that thing where he goes, you don't even call me Godfather.
You don't even think to call me Godfather.
It's like, you don't come here as a friend.
I can't remember the last time that you invited me to your house for a cup of coffee.
You come here as a... Who knows how that whole thing went down, but maybe Tim goes, okay, Godfather.
Be my friend? Godfather?
And then Bill's like, sure, I'll buy your company from you, and we'll do whatever we want. We'll put Rogue Fitness on the J-Cups. They're pretty cool. They allow the bar to shift back and forth. They cost $400. Rogue loves things that cost a lot of money. People buy things from Rogue that cost a lot of money. And all of a sudden, Rogue Fitness just made another ally.
Someday, And that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me.
That being the strongman, the powerlifting community that Grow Strong kind of was brought up in. That was the entire thing. And he made a friend in the guy named Tim, and everyone loved Tim. And now Bill Henniger and Rogue Fitness have become an even bigger player in the space. The same way that the Don becomes a bigger and bigger player every time that he does a favor for these people. You see favors like that pay off when the cake maker guy goes to the hospital and he just pretends to stand there with a gun in his pocket. And favors to people pay off. And then the Don also does this thing where he's got some pull. And this is pretty evident when his nephew comes to the party and everyone's like, oh, look at this guy, he's wearing a white tux. I think his name is Johnny Fontaine. Johnny Fontaine's walking in, everyone's like, oh, he's so cool, he's from California. And as he's walking up, that Michael guy's talking to his wife and he goes, there's a side of this family you don't want to know. Johnny Fontaine wanted out of the business, the manager was keeping him in. So the Don goes to the manager and offers him $10,000. The manager says, no way, we're gonna keep Johnny Fontaine. And then he sends the hitman after him and he goes, okay, gun to your head, $1,000. It's an offer you can't refuse.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
And it was in this moment that I was kind of thinking of our good buddy Dave Castro. And to me, it kind of sounds like Dave Castro, who we all know went to Rogue, and everyone's like, oh, Rogue and Dave Castro are going to open up the next big thing since the CrossFit Games. That's everyone's speculation, right? I never thought that was going to happen. It's apparent that that's not going to happen now that Dave Castro is back at CrossFit. But how did Dave Castro get back at CrossFit? To me, it looks like he got in, not that he got in, but I think he's always been pretty close with Bill. I mean, he would work closely with him, we know, to build the stuff at the CrossFit Games, like the giant things they would push and the pig and all those things. And that was kind of Dave's thing with Bill. And Bill and Dave created a t-shirt the second that Dave was fired from CrossFit. We saw that, and then that's what all the speculation started to do. Dave is going to go over to Rogue, but then everything kind of settled down a little bit. And what happened in that time that it settled down? Well, to me, maybe it sounds like Bill went to CrossFit and made them an offer that they couldn't refuse.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Bill Henniger goes to CrossFit and goes, hey, you're going to have to let Dave Castro back into the fold, or I'm going to pull all my equipment out. And like, what's going to happen when Rogue Fitness pulls all the equipment out of CrossFit? They're not going to have anything. CrossFit is going freaking broke. I mean, I guess they don't say it, but they make it evident by not doing things like paying their judges. And they do things like not paying a team of people to go ahead and filter the freaking Workout 3 online leaderboard. So they're hurting for money. So you got someone like Bill, who owns Rogue Fitness, that is now way bigger than CrossFit, and he can do something like go to CrossFit and say, hey, if you don't let Dave Castro back in, I'm going to pull all my equipment out, or I'm going to make you pay for it, or we're no longer going to sponsor the CrossFit Games. We know that people have been pulling their names out. I mean, we don't know, but we can look at the website and we can see that there's no longer brands like Killcliff. There's no longer FitAid. We know Reebok's no longer the sponsor of the games. It's Noble. So what they're left with are companies like GoWad and O2 and Monster Hydro, Guaranteed Rate, the mortgage company of the 2022 CrossFit Games. Shit like that, right? So you better bet that if someone like Bill walks over to CrossFit and makes them an offer they can't refuse,
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
They're not going to refuse it, and they're going to hire Dave Castro back in any capacity that he wants. I don't know the capacity they want. I've never spoken to Dave Castro. I've never spoken to Bill Henniger, but I'm watching The Godfather, and those are just two instances in which it seems like it's almost too obvious to anybody that would just be sitting in their chair trying to draw comparisons between movies and the sport that they love so much, that being CrossFit, being what I like to do, draw the comparisons. So I don't think it's any coincidence.
And as detective, we're not allowed to believe in coincidence.
That Dave is back in his spot after having gone to Bill Henniger, getting his shirt made, hanging out down there, doing with his thing, with shooting stuff. I think he put up a post the other day where he was hanging out over there. Crap, maybe it was a story. I can't find it. I thought he was there the other day. But he was just hired by CrossFit. Now he's back out in Texas. So yeah, I didn't even finish The Godfather. I gotta go finish The Godfather. I don't know what happens with Don. All I know is that last I saw him, he was freaking laying in a hospital bed, barely freaking awake. And I'm not saying that that's the case with Bill Henniger at all. All I'm saying is basically through 1/3 of the movie, he's the fucking shit, and everybody wants to do everything through him. If you're a company like Nike, you're like, please sell my shoes on your website. If you're any single company, let's say that you just created a freaking set of wrist wraps, and you would do anything to have Bill Henniger put your wrist wraps on the Rogue Fitness website so that possibly anybody can buy them, because everything filters through Bill Henniger, and the people at CrossFit know that. And I think that it's kind of ridiculous to not assume some of these things. And again, they're all assumptions. What the fuck do I know? What do you think? Do they seem like pretty close comparisons? Have you thought of these things, or am I just insane? Tinfoil hat time, right?
It doesn't matter what you think.
I am Mr. Tinfoil Hat, sitting in his garage. And now I'm gonna go finish watching The Godfather. Maybe I'll do another one after I finish watching, because everything might change. But until then, all I want you to do is rifle a bunch of shit in the comments section. Andrew Hiller out.